Welcome back, everyone. Again, I'm Tony, Shinsho Yoga, and today we're going to work on some more yoga basics. So today, I want to focus on cat and cow. Cat and cow, again, being a relatively considered basic pose, but a very important one in my opinion. Cat and cow is excellent for the spine, again, in my opinion. What you're looking to do in this posture is flex the vertebrae. Right? So as your spine sits, of course, you have the bone and then, of course, the cushioning in between. Over time, this cushioning can begin to squish a little. I know personally I have a moderately degenerated disc in my neck that I struggle with. It's got a little bit like that. And the less activity that you have, and the more you sit, and the more sedentary, and through age and possibly abuse, maybe you've been a heavy exerciser for impact style of sports in their life and things like that, it takes its toll on it. And one of the ways to keep it healthy is to flex it. So cat and cow is a gentle way to do this. I am a firm believer in the saying that you're only as young as your spine is flexible. So you want to be able to keep that healthy. The more healthy your spine is, the more healthy you'll be, again, in my opinion. So for the posture today, we're just going to go through the basics of it, learning to do it. There's not too many modifications that you can do with cat and cow, but I'm going to show you a couple that I like to offer with that. So let's get going on that and see how well we do. Again, well being a relative term. So in cat and cow, you want to start from an all fours position. And as I've always mentioned before, if you need any type of prop to be able to help you with this, say a blanket for under the knees. If you have trouble with the knees, feel free to take a blanket and bring it under the knees. That can help take the pressure off the knees. If you don't need that, then fine. But again, sometimes it can be challenging to do this if you don't have a little bit of support. So to have your hands underneath your shoulders, about shoulder width apart, knees underneath the hips, about hip distance apart. And we want to start with a neutral spine. Often this position here is referred to as tabletop. There are different points of view on it in tabletop, meaning that there's sometimes tabletop is called when you do this in the reverse way, but where you're doing it, your hands behind you and your front coming up. But in generally, this is reviewed as tabletop. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to drop the belly, raise the head, tuck the toes, and spread the sternum. This is cow. Now in cow, we don't want to collapse into the shoulders like this, right? You don't want to be moving this way. You want to have the shoulders drawn back and the head lifted and the belly dropped. The tucking of the toes I refer to as live toes. This is not standard among a lot of teachers. I like to do this. It has to do with stretching all of the muscles that you can in one shot. On your exhale, you'll take the tops of the feet down, which I call dead toes. You suck your belly to the spine, you round the back, you drop the head, arching the back here. This is cat. Once again, keeping those arms straight. Inhaling for cow, arms straight, roll the shoulders back, head comes up, chest comes forward, spread the sternum, tuck the toes. Exhale, tops of the feet down, round the back, suck the belly to the spine, drop the head. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And you want to move with your breath. Methodically. You don't want to do this. It's not this. It's not healthy. Slowly, methodically, moving the body with the breath. Inhaling, keeping the arms straight, drawing the shoulders back, lift the head, the belly drops, tops of the feet, toes are tucked, and then exhale. Tops of the feet down, round the back, suck the belly to the spine, drop the head. Again, some of the things that you don't want to do in this posture, you don't want to do cat and cow this way. I have people, unfortunately, I see do it this way, and sometimes it's learning. Again, when you are new to a class and someone says do this and you don't have individual instruction, it can be very challenging to know what you should and should not be doing. So often people are newer to it or have developed, unfortunately, bad habits in it. Do this. They'll go like this, moving the elbows. You don't want to move the elbows. This is an isolation of the spine and an isolation of the back. So again, arms straight, roll the shoulders back, lift the head, drop the belly, round the back, suck the belly to the spine, drop the head. Again, arms straight. Now, as I said, I do it a little differently. I do a tucking of the toes on that. Reason being is you want to be able to flex the bottom of the feet and the tops of the feet. Whenever you have a chance to exercise them, you take it. Often in our yoga poses, we don't get a lot of time to focus on feet. There are times that I actually have people do certain exercises where we're working to roll the toes and really stretch the instep. The body, all the muscles in the body connect. They're not isolated. The bicep is not isolated from the shoulder. It's connected. It all connects. There's a fourth order muscle system in the body that goes from the toes all the way up to the tongue, running through the whole body. So stretching the feet in the process that we do this, flexing the toes, helps open everything coming along the back. And this is not only a stretch for the back, but also helps to stretch the front. That's why we go back and forth and back and forth. Okay? So I like to tuck the toes on that. Again, live toes, dead toes as you go. I feel that that's more helpful than just doing it without it. Additionally, again with this, the moving with the breath. So as in all of my practices, and you'll see throughout all the videos that I do, or if you come to classes that I hold, the most important part is the moving with the breath, following the breath, inhaling and exhaling. As your thoughts arise, you'll acknowledge them, allow them to pass by, and return to the breath. Over and over and over again. So in our cat and cow, you inhale and you exhale. If a thought arises that takes you out of being present in your moment on the mat, acknowledge it, allow it to pass by, and return to the breath. This posture, again, wonderful for stretching the spine. One issue that I had for a long time in being that I used to work in an office for many years, long before being a yoga teacher, working in the financial services industry for 16 some odd years, I sat at a desk all day long. And sitting at a desk all day long will shorten up the back of the body. The body adapts to however you're living, right? So if you're sitting at a desk all day, the back of your body doesn't need to be long. It needs to be short to accommodate to that seated position. And the plasticity of the muscle, which means the plasticity is where the muscle stays. We have elasticity, meaning its ability to lengthen and shorten, right, regularly to be able to do that without an issue. And plasticity, meaning where does it stay? Does it stay long or does it stay short, right? The plasticity of the muscle when you sit at a desk all day comes to a shortened position, right? And what that'll do is often with things like sciatica, and again, I'll put in a disclaimer here, I'm not a doctor, it's just what I've been through. I used to have a numbness along my left leg here as I would sit. It would go numb. And what was happening to me was that the discs in the back were getting pulled like this, pinching the nerve, because the muscles in my back were out of balance. You'll find a lot of things in life that you run into problems with come from imbalance, whether it's an imbalance here, imbalance in the muscles, imbalance in your diet, imbalance in your emotions. It's imbalance, right? Yoga, we look to balance. We lengthen and we shorten, right? So I did many things. I went to acupuncture. I went to a chiropractor. They all helped me. But what helped me the most was this, yoga. And primarily cat and cow was one of the biggest helpers in that. So, very healthy pose. If this is something that you decide that you want to do on a regular basis to help your back, I would highly encourage it. One of the things I'll do is going to offer a video for a little mini daily flow that I think will be helpful for people. It'll only take about 15 minutes a day, which will include cat and cow. All of my classes, I do cat and cow in. So that's just cat and cow for today. Again, a little bit about what you can do for your back and your spine. So appreciate you tuning in. Namaste.